Hi, good morning everyone. Time for another video. Now, I've got a few bits and pieces together. They're just oddments. I've got this that I've been cutting up, it's a doily, but I like the scalloped edge of, it's half a doily basically, and I might need a couple of those, so I've put that to one side. I've got some of this, because I think we'll do two flowers today, which is the Hessian, what I call Hessian, and it's nice and flat and I like that, and it's a good quality one. Sometimes you can get it and it's cheap looking. I've got some of these, which are the stamen but in orange, only because I've got this fabric. And I've also got some of these, that's the wrong colour fee, so you don't want that one, which are larger stamen. I don't know why they've got in there, or them. I keep them all in a pot. And I might use those on one or the other flower, I'm not sure. So I'm going to put those there, put those out of the way. Snippers, because obviously we're dealing with wire. And I got a few of these. I might only need 3 of them. Don't know, depends what the flower turns out like. Again, more stamen. Well, they're bobbles. We call them bobbles. And the button, just in case. I might want to just put a button in and then probably a piece of bling in the middle of that. Not sure yet. Might just put a bit of thread in it. So I'm going to kickstart. I'm using this. It's a quite a thick cord. And because it's already a wide piece, and I want my flower, this like go from the centre to the outside, I'm going to cut it that way rather than cut it that way, because you don't get the same effect and it doesn't lay the same either. So I'm just going to cut this, and because I'm folding it, so I need at least 2 inches. And if you don't quite know, or if you can't cut a straight line, you can do it that way. It does help. It keeps it more or less straight. It's just a little guide. This is out of sync here because the fabric was at the top. So now I'm just going to fold that like that, and then I can just trim off that excess like that. I know I've cut my nails down, but I need them, it's a builder gel, so I need filling in. But I split that, look. That's my own nail, as you can see, so I'm not kidding. With builder gel on it, and it's split. But she can fix it, I know that. So I've knotted it first. Just going to do a tacking stitch. And then what we're going to do is a running stitch to the bottom, to the opposite end. And you see, we're just going to pull this down, and then I'm going to trim off the excess. Now look, you do have to be careful. Because we are going to turn this, and I have to do it very carefully. If it comes undone, we'll have to start again. It's because it's uneven to start with. See, like that, and you end up with a nice flower. So I'm going to trim this off here. Leave a little bit more. I'm just going to do a touch more. Oh, I cramp in my hand then. Yeah. Like that. And then what I'm going to do is just to stitch. Well, first of all, I need to pull that out. Flatten that out and cut the surplus off. Without cutting the thread. Like that. Okay. Now I'm going to go across the end like that, and then stitch that off. Like that. And then we can get rid of that. Now, what I'm going to do is I need to trim the corners. That'll help it when it's pulled through. And then, of course, we now need... I've got a bit of cramp in my hand, folks. That might do, mightn't it? What I do is to tuck that in best I can. Pull that apart like that, squeeze that in like that, and then you need something like a stick to start and ease that the right way. Little flower, and this end can then be glued into this end. So we can open that up and we just pop that into there. So let me just work this out. I just need to put this back in there. Pop your back in. Move it around on there, on the shaft, and then try and push the corners out a little bit till you start to see where you stitched it. That's it. And then like that, we just pop this into that section there. Like that. So I'm just going to do that right now. And then you pop that in there like that, and we can pull this around to make the flower. Like that. There's different ways of making this one. It is a bit thin on that end, but I'd cut the material that way. So then I need a base, of course. So all we do is do like that, and we pop that base on like that. You can manoeuvre it about where you want it and pulling it in here, there and everywhere. That's basically my flower. And then to that, like I said, we can either add some of the doilies, which I might put a couple on, I don't know yet. Let's have a look. So what I like to do with mine is, well, I think what we'll do is just give them a fold in the middle. Although I like to see that, so let me just see. That's the right way. I think I'm just going to give them a little tuck. There. Double glue that side, double glue that side, and a double glue there. And I get my finger dobber. Let's have a look. Again, just give them a little twist. And we're just going to do one here. Lift it out like that. Okie dokie. Now, what else do I want? I think I need like, let's have a look, see what we've got. I mean, if you want to put your flower together a different way, you go ahead and do that. But I find that pretty easy. And again, we're just going to do, I can't remember the name. It's not the lollipop, because lollipop flower, you lot will probably remember it. Mine's gone blank. It's like the bobble in it that you can do in a kid's hair. Anyway, like I say, we're just going to do this. Now I'm going to do it on there, I think, like that. So that's it. So you can see everything. Put another glue stick in. Take my little dopper. And I think we'll do it that way. Like that. And just push that in the centre. You didn't need much. I used about 6 inches there, if that. And then we take hold of, I'd say 6 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Make sure both ends are okay. Yeah. Yeah. And then we just twist them. Try and get them all the same. Like that. Actually, I might want to untwist the ends a little bit. Yeah. And we're just going to do that so they make a little cluster. Pinch those together with your pliers. Wherever my pliers are. Like that. And then I just flip that back. So that's got something to lay on, but ignore those at the moment. And that just sits bang in the middle of that flower centre. Like that. And we just sit them in. And then we can manoeuvre these like that. Now, if I want to, if I think that's like too long, I can snip that and then re-stick it in, which I'm going to do that. Where's my little plier things? Just that particular, oh, that one as well. Oh, no, do you know what? I'm not going to. What I'm going to do is take a couple more, cut them, I can't even see to grab hold of them. Cut them like that. Whoa. Well, I'll probably find that when I clean up. And I'm going to do a couple more. This is the best thing about crafting, is you can just build until you're happy. Always be careful of wire that you cut off, folks, because it can get in your skin. And same as it does with animals, it can travel. I just want one more in here. And I love them when they've got plenty in. Look at that. And that's just using up some oddments of material. Now, at the same time, do I want to put any leaves on? Yeah, why not? So for those of you who like to use leaves, I have some of this. It's like a Christmas green. And I'm just going to cut, about that size. So about 2 inches, 2.5 really, 3 inches. It is wired, but I'm not fussed about that because what we're going to do is cut that off. So what I'm going to do is to fold that in half. You will need a lighter for this, folks. And just cut the leaf however you want. I'm going to fatten mine at the top a little bit, I think. Like that. And then what I'm going to do is, again, just fold that together. Like that. And you snick it. Like that. And do it every 1/2 inch. Like that. I think that'll do. Yeah, like that. That'll do. Just to get a different style leaf. You can do whatever style you want. So, I'm going to take my lighter. And we're just going to burnish there. Now, I'm going to shape this a little bit more because I don't like that. Like that. I'm going to point it a little bit more. Okay. Now I'm going to fold that in half again and just run my lighter down the middle. Like that. See? And we get that leaf. And that's good enough for me. I'm going to turn that over. Not bother that I've done that. We needed that to hold that. And I'm just going to glue the bottom. Now, where do I want it? I'm going to have my leaf here. Like that. And I'm going to do the same thing with this one. I'm going to my granddaughter's today, my eldest granddaughter. One of my eldest, I should say, because I've got 2 that are on Ray's side. Well, more than 2 actually. But this is on my side. Jamie Lee, many of you who's followed me for years will remember the kids. But she's bought her first house. And I'm going over to see it for the first time. They've only been in it a couple of weeks. They had some work to do, not much. But they wanted to get it right before anybody saw it. And I don't blame them. I mean, when we were growing up and moving houses for the first time, everybody, well, if you had a nice family, chipped in and came around and did the odd thing, didn't they? But they wanted to do it on their own. And it's up to them, isn't it? We bought them a couple of gifts for a housewarming that they wanted. And I'm thrilled. I'm so thrilled, you know, that they've achieved what they wanted to do. They've been together quite a while now. Yeah, I'm going to cut that one down a little bit more, I think. Yeah, that's it. But yeah, so there's the first one, which you could call a Christmas flower. I don't know what you want to. I'm just doing flowers, not for any particular reason, folks. So let's have a look. Yeah, I'm just gonna cut this. I cut it bigger than I need, and I'm trying to cut it straight so that it's level when I do it. Okay. Whoops. Never mind that end, that's not straight. This is the straight end I've just cut. Now, what I'm going to do is to take off so many of these. And they'll come in handy, so don't get rid of them. Okay, where's my little spiky thing? Come on. I like these, and you can put them on anything. These are nice for gift, you know, if you're putting on a gift box. I can't even tell you what I've bought the two youngest grandkids, Bobby and Aaron, because they might watch the video. I can't tell you what I've bought them, but I do come out really nice what I've chosen. It's what they've asked for, but they've asked for a lot, so they won't know which I mean. And I'm quite enjoying the thrill of, because the older they get, sometimes it's not as easy to buy for, but these are like 8 and 10, so they're not too bad to buy for. Right, so I'm just going to do that. Now, what we're going to do is, I'm going to cut this end off. No, I'm not going to roll it. But I do need to cut this side off now. I don't want too big here, because it's got to lay flat on a box. So I'm just going to go to there and try and follow the line so that you get it level. And you can do another one there. You can get at least 2 more out of that. Okay, where's my trusted tweezers? Here we are. Now, I'm just going to bob a bit of glue on there. And twist. Just keep going. It doesn't matter if that last one comes off. You can probably pull that off anyway later. And you need to just keep putting a bit of glue on there. That's away from your finger. That's not, be with it having holes in it. So don't be silly and do the wrong bit, because it hurts when you're not used to it. I mean, although my fingers are quite used to glue and whatnot these days. Now, for those of you who don't know, probably just joined us, we don't have the shop anymore, but we do have all the shop things when I shut it down going on to Vinted. And it's vinted.co.uk, vinted.co.uk, and look up my name, jennings644. I've done it like that so people recognise and they know they can trust what they're getting from me. Yeah, so if you want to run along, the shop prices were very low compared to most people, because we sold things, or I sold things for you to craft with. Not like the crafting shops that sell things expensively because they know you like to craft. See what I mean? But anyway, so they are good value. I've reduced them even more to sell the shop goodies off. It's dead stock to me when I don't have a shop. But I've already reduced the prices before they go on. I know people keep trying to drop the prices more, and I'd love to, but I do have to get my money back. Do you know what I mean? Otherwise it was pointless me doing it. Right, so there we go. Now that's another way you can do it. If you're doing a miniature, you can make a miniature brush. So, but you wouldn't have this as thick. You'd probably use half that amount, and then put a wooden skewer in it, and you'd have a little miniature witch's brush, wouldn't you? And you could shape this, because you could do that as long as you wanted, and then shape it. In fact, I might make one of them just so, because miniature people like those, don't they? If you show them how to do certain things, if they're not sure, newbies and that. But anyway, so what I'm going to do with mine is just to take my lighter and just to seal it all off. You have to be really quick, see? And it's just the loose fibres. And you could put something in the middle if you wanted or not. It's up to you. But again, doing that, and then let me just see if I can do this. Let me just see how much would I need about that. So I'm taking roughly about 20 inches of this. And I'm going to fold it again in half. I wish there was an easy way to do this, but there's not. So hang on, bear with me. Well, about 20 inches of the webbing. I'm selling reels of things off, not just a metre or two. Reels. All the full ones that I had left and that. So run along and grab them while you can. You won't get them at that price, I'll tell you that now. You won't get them when I had them on the shop anyway at that price. So right, all I'm going to do now is just to quickly do a running stitch. Right, I'm just going to go back to the beginning. Like that. And then what I'm going to do is attach that in there like that. Oh, yes. And then we need to pull that tight. No, that's got to go back up there a little bit. Let's just pull this tight. And then I'm going to stitch that. I will glue this into place. That'll do. I'm going to glue it into place so that it's completed. I just need to push that when I want it. That's it. Take that one out. If it's annoying you, snip it out. Look. And you've got another one that's like that. Now you could dob a bit of glue, glue, and then dob it into glitter. And you can sprinkle a bit of glitter around the edges. Just, you know, put a little bit of glue, sprinkle a bit of glitter. And you can make those for your parcels. They're easy, quick, and you're not using very much. So like I said, I'm just going to glue this one together like that. Like that. And then we'll sort this out. And then I'm just going to glue this into place, to be honest. Pull it back. And then push that up. And that should be fine. And that one will sit on the parcel. Again, if you want to do like a nice sit on a nice ribbon. I'll just show you what I mean. If you had your parcel, and just imagine that's your ribbon going across your parcel, and then one of those sat in the middle. Look how nice they look. You can have that one or that one. Look fab, don't they? That's it. Thanks for watching. Take care, and I'll speak to you all soon. Bye bye for now.